Welcome to our ultra favorite portable OCF modifiers. Now, in this video, we want to cover kind of the most commonly used modifiers that we're going to be using in this course, and just in general, kind of the light modifiers that we find most functional on our shoots. Of course, we're not going to be demonstrating and showing you things that we don't do in our shoots. That'd be just ridiculous. All right, let's start from the top with diffusion cloth. Logan, diffusion cloth me. Logan, diffusion cloth me. Diffusion cloth, thank you. Okay, so diffusion cloth, you guys can pick this up from any local cloth store or cloth market. I don't know, wherever you guys buy cloth. Joann's for us. This is 10 bucks for, like, you know, several square yards of it, and that's really all you need. And this is a great light modifier because you can use it anywhere in place of basically a scrim. It's just going to simply soften the amount of light a little bit. We actually have some up on these lights just because it's easy to clip onto a light source and get a little bit softer of a look to it. So it's one of those things that we just keep, you know, we keep a couple yards of this just in our lighting bag in case we need it, and then when we do, we just cut off a piece, use gaffer tape or a A-clamp to just clamp it to whatever you need. Okay, take that back, you. Okay, this is a scrim. Now, why don't you hand me the other one too, that other 5-in-1 reflector. This is, yeah, don't throw it at my head, please. That would be a little painful. This is a Westcott 5-in-1 scrim, or sorry, 5-in-1 reflector. But what is it? Why is it called a 5-in-1? Because it does a bunch of different things. And look at this, I can actually reflect light into your faces. How y'all like that? I don't even know if it's making a difference or not, but whatever. So we have a silver side, we have a black side, and the black side actually has a purpose. This is a flag. We use this to block light. And then on the inside, we have a scrim, we have a gold side, and also a white side. So the inside is this scrim item. Okay, so why don't you take this guy back, and what does the scrim look like? Well, it looks surprisingly like that diffusion cloth that you guys just saw, right? But this is a slightly larger reflector. This is the, I believe, the Photo Dio, and it's like a 48 or 60-inch reflector. It's taller and it's longer, which is another really cool option to go with. The Westcotts, they're like 30, 40 bucks. You can also get them in different sizes. You also have Photo Dios. These are larger, and these come in, I think these are like 60 bucks for these variants. There's plenty of variants. Our favorite brand of reflectors, everybody, and kind of these light modifying items is Westcott, just because they are inexpensive and they stand up to time. A lot of these other reflectors, they're, especially the inexpensive made ones, their little rings, the metal rings around the outside tend to break, which is very irritating. And also the zippers are very difficult to zip up and to close around your object. All right, so this guy also has a 5-in-1. It has the silver side, it has everything, but this is just a different variant of it. So why do we say to have that diffusion cloth? Because you can shape that to be whatever you want it to be. We've done entire shoots that we're going to show you in Lighting 401. Where basically, and guys, please show them the shoot so that they can see it. But we have an entire giant piece of diffusion cloth with multiple flashes placed behind it, and we're creating a huge reflector, essentially, with that, and we're flashing through it. Okay, we're softening to create a huge light source, basically. All right, let me roll this over to you. Look at that. All right, let's show them now the DIY V-flat. And why don't you just hand me, instead of the V-flat, just hand me the front cardboard right there. Yeah, that's great. So a V-flat is a little bit too large to hold with my hands right here, and it's going to be out of frame. But this is basically what a V-flat is made of. You can go to your local camera shop and pick up this stuff. This is foam core that has white on one side and it has black on the other. So a V-flat is a fantastic light modifier you can get for about 20 bucks. You simply cut down the middle and then tape it. And then what you can do is stand it up anywhere inside the studio. Generally, when you're on set shooting, a V-flat needs to be held because they're kind of giant sails and the wind will blow them over and so forth. But they're fantastic to either flag to cut off light or to reflect and bounce light. So they're amazing modifiers for that, very inexpensive as well. Why don't you take that guy and let's grab the Westcott 43-inch. I have it right here. Don't worry your pretty little beard about it. Okay, this is a shoot-through umbrella. Now this is the Westcott shoot-through. Again, great items. Like the thing is with you know, light modifiers like this, the Westcott is already very inexpensive. This 43-inch umbrella is 20 bucks. And what we look for in these kind of products is making sure that the skeleton, basically this little framing part of the umbrella, is something that will hold up over time. and with inexpensive umbrellas. Yes, you can get them as cheap as 10 bucks, but you're gonna buy them every 6 months because they're gonna break and they're gonna have issues. So just get something that's actually of decent quality. It's already cheap, everybody. It's 20 bucks. It's already inexpensive. Just get the legit one. All right, so with this, we can basically place this through an umbrella. Let's show them actually. Why don't you hand me that stand that we had just a second ago? You can place this through the umbrella mount on any of your stands. So we have those adapter mounts that go onto your stand. Yeah, just that guy right there. Perfect. Yeah, don't throw that at me either, because that'd be really painful. But it goes right here in the adapter stand. You could place the flash right on top of it to shoot through this. Or there's also a black side of this, or a reflective side that you can add here where it'll act as a bounce, so the light will come back. But a shoot-through umbrella is incredibly inexpensive. The way that they break down, look at this. You can break this entire thing down, your light modifier and everything, and fit them together in a bag so simply and so easily. It makes it very useful of a device. Let me give this guy back to you, and let's show you my next favorite light modifiers. Now I'm going to grab both these right here. One is the Westcott Apollo, and one is the Westcott Apollo Strip. One's the Apollo Orb and one's the Apollo Strip, and I hope I don't drop anything right now. Okay, so here's these guys. Now, actually, why don't you hold one of these, because this is gigantic. They look like umbrellas, right? They're slightly longer, slightly larger than umbrellas, but in reality, they are not just umbrellas. These guys are softboxes, extremely portable softboxes. So we'll show you how to kind of use these as we go into different shoots, but when you set this up, it becomes a giant, basically parabolic softbox. So this is like a large octa or a large parabolic softbox. You place the flash stand up through this little hole in the middle, and then you zip it up to make sure your light doesn't spill out. You aim the flashes into the back of this. You can use like a bracket, like a cheetah bracket or a Westcott bracket to have 3 flashes, and they can all fire into this, and you have a beautiful soft light. And you can also add grids onto the outside. You can add a reflector on the outside and so forth. Sorry, a scrim or a diffuser. This is the Orb, and this is the Apollo Strip. And I actually like using, like for inside, you know, on location studio shoots that we go indoors, I really like the Apollo Orb. I do it outdoors too, but this guy is kind of my go-to like engagement session softbox because it's smaller. So this is the Apollo Strip, right? So you can kind of see we have the same kind of devices where we insert the flash stand up through the bottom middle. We can put our hand into the right to make adjustments to the flashes if you're shooting manual flashes, but this is where we talk about, you know, if you're on a radio controlled system where you can control the radios from your handheld device, that's fantastic. If you can control the power on your flashes from your radio on your camera, that means that you don't have to constantly be going into this to adjust flash powers. You can set this up, be good to go, and just adjust power from your camera. So this is another fantastic device, and when you're done with it, again, it breaks down to the size of just an umbrella. So another amazing product from Westcott. All right, so that's the Apollo Orb, the Apollo Strip. We forgot one little guy right there, which is the Westcott Rapid Box. Let's grab the Rapid Box. Actually, it's right there. It's underneath me. Would you mind, sir? Would you mind getting that guy? Aw, how nice is Logan? Thank you, my bearded friend. All right, check this guy out. So this fits into this small of a little softbox right here. And we have an adapter ring on here too. Holy crap, that was loud. Should we do that part again? No, just keep rolling with it. Just keep rolling with it. All right, let's throw that guy down there. Do you want to grab that for me real quick? So, how does this thing work? Hey, I've been looking for this. I put it inside there. Okay, so what we have here is we have a little wing nut that's on this little rod in the center. But basically, this is a super portable octabox. We just place this, so you can see when it breaks down, it's like this, right? So it looks really tiny and small. And then you plop that little, I said plop. You plop that little, I don't know, the circular thing over the rod, whatever. Who cares what they're called? Little spigot, majigget. And then you pop this dish right over the front of it. So this dish is basically designed, so if I open this up to you guys, you can see, I'm just going to put this dish right over that, and then put the wing nut right on there. That would be the end of the wing nut and not the front of it. Okay. All right, good enough for now. And then you have your little bracket on this side. So let me pop this on here. And when you're on set, like it's very, very simple and easy to do these setups. Like you can take these in their broken down format, or size or whatever, and then just get them onto your set and be up and good to go within just a matter of minutes, which I love because it makes them so easy and portable. So all I'm doing right now is just screwing on this bracket. Everything is via thumb screws, so they're very easy to set up. Now, guess what? We have that mount that we can place onto our monopod or whatever we want to place onto a stand, whatever we need. We can set that up. We can put our flash right here on the bracket, fire through there, which bounces off that little dish, this reflector dish, and it opens up the light, takes up the whole thing, and then we can place the diffuser over the front of it as well to get an even softer light if we need. So this is the Rapid Box. Very small, very portable, another fantastic light modifier by Westcott. Each one of these, so let's say the Rapid Box was 170 bucks, the Apollo Orb is 150 bucks, and the Strip is 130 bucks. They do come with their diffusers, but if you want the grids along with them for the Apollo Orb and the Apollo Strip, it's like an extra, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks for the grids. Okay, now the 3-foot RFI Octa and the 2x3 RFI Softbox, they're a little bit large to basically be demonstrating to you on this set, but they go over this RFI speed ring, which again we can mount to our monopod, and we'll show you what they look like on actual production sets and so forth. But you just take the rods, pop them in here. It takes about 5 minutes to set up. If you're new to it, expect it to take 10 minutes. But once you get used to it, they're 5 minutes to set up and break down and so forth. Very simple and easy to use. And these are our preferred softboxes when we're using larger strobes, like say the medium strobes like the Bolt, okay? Because we can place them on here and set them all the way inside of this bracket. So it's very easy to get them in there and get them in the right position where we're using all the light and we don't have anything spilling out the back. Whereas if you try and put a Bolt on like a Westcott, they're not designed for that large of a strobe. And so getting them into position is a little bit difficult and you will get light spill. Okay, so let's go back with this guy. Let me show you some smaller items. So these were our diffusion and bounce items. These are our softbox items. These are the ultra portable softboxes. These are the high power softboxes, which is the RFI. Now we have our control and our creative modifiers. So on this side, we have the XP Portaflex snoot. Now, can you make your own snoot? Absolutely. You don't need to buy one. This is 10 bucks. They're very inexpensive. A DIY snoot, you can grab a cereal box and make it out of that. Whatever you want to do. I don't really care, but these are 10 bucks. They fold up, they're very easy to kind of store, and they actually have like reflective material on the inside, so you're not getting a lot of light loss. And they're super easy to take around, and they're actually durable. So if you're gonna be using snoots a lot, it might be worth just paying the 10 bucks to get, you know, one of these guys. But they're gonna throw your light a longer distance, and this is what a snoot would look like for, say, like the Bolt. The Bolt VB22 has snoots, and this is what it would appear like. Again, all these do, remember from Lighting 101, all a snoot does is just funnels that light and it pins it to one specific area. Very useful, very handy dandy. I find myself using grids a little bit more than snoots, but snoots are still fantastic when you want to put a splash of light just on one little thing. Okay, so that is our snoot. Now here we have a couple different versions of grids. So let me show you. We have the Velo grid. Let me grab this guy. And this is just going to mount via Velcro right over the flash, okay? So you just mount it like this. It goes directly over the flash unit. Not the most elegant of solutions. A lot of people hate Velcro. I would be one of them, but I still use it a ton on my shoots. But again, this just prevents light from spilling out. Again, Lighting 101, we talked extensively about what a grid does. It prevents light from spilling onto things that you do not want to cover. Now, the more elegant solution to this is actually the MagMod, which I actually like much, much more. So if it's in the budget, I would grab the MagMod. You just place this little rubber head thingy, I don't know what it is, the rubber MagMod thingy, over the flash head. And once it's in position, you can place whatever you want. You can actually use the, so here's the MagMod grid. You can place that right here, and it just automatically, magnetically adheres to that head. You can also place like your, your gels over that as well. So the MagMod is a very elegant solution to kind of this old school problem of just using these Velcro items, which I dig. So that is the Velo grid as well as the MagMod grid and gel system. And we use gels frequently. If you guys don't want to use MagMod gels, then DIY gels like this guy. You can buy a giant sheet of this stuff for like 5–10 bucks, cut them out into little squares. Again, we use Velcro on each side to adhere it to the flash. So that's a totally viable option. We do both. Honestly, like any one of these solutions will get you to the exact same image. It's just a matter of figuring out what your preferences are over time. Let's show them one other thing. I want to show them the Apollo grid right here. Ooh, I almost fell off my chair. That would have been bad. Well, it wouldn't have been that bad. I'm only like 3 feet off the ground. Am I 3 feet off the ground? I don't know. Okay, so this is the grid for the Apollo strip. So as we start using larger modifiers, our, like our grids and all of our other items get larger too. So this is the grid for that strip box, okay? And you basically just adhere this to the outside of the strip box once it's set up. So here is the grid for just a bare bubble speed light, and here's the grid for a strip box. So all we're dealing with is the exact same kind of items, just larger scale versions of them. Let's show them now some DIY gobos, actually. Why don't you grab that black pegboard right there? DIY gobos are something that we're going to use constantly throughout this series and throughout going forward because they're fantastic light modifiers just to create really cool little effects. Now this is just simple pegboard that we picked up from Home Depot, and we're going to use it later for a kind of fine art boudoir shoot when we do that shoot to kind of create this look where we fire these flashes through the pegboard, and it's going to create like this dappled light on our subject. It looks really, really cool. And they're very, very inexpensive too. Like, I can't remember what were these, like 20 bucks? 20 bucks? 20 bucks, something like that. And then we painted them black. And we have master painter over here, Logan, who did a fantastic job with this, just spray cans painting this thing. And we painted them black. Why? Because we don't want light reflecting off them. Whenever you create like a DIY gobo or something like that, you generally want at least one side black. So that way when you shoot into it, it doesn't push light everywhere else. It doesn't bounce light everywhere else. You want to use it for control. So one side white, one side black is generally the ideal thing, so that way you have both options. All right, let's go ahead and show them that other one. Let's show them that slotted one. Yeah, that guy. This is another DIY gobo. We made this out of, again, that same foam core that you pick up from the camera shop. And what do? We just drew lines across this and we cut it out with a razor blade. And what are we doing with this? We're creating kind of that slatted window look where like when you have light coming through a window with like the little, I don't know what those are called, like the window blinds. This is kind of creating that look. So we shoot through it to create those lines going across our subject, and it looks fantastic. You'll see us do it on a shoot as well. These are all very inexpensive ways of adding fantastic production value to your shoots. Let's go ahead and show them one other one. This is right here. We're going to demonstrate, actually we didn't mention Mylar here, but you can get Mylar blankets or you can get aluminum, whatever you want. But Mylar blankets I find generally work a little bit better. But you can get those for like $5–10 at Home Depot. You cut them up and you paste them onto like a blackboard like this. What do we do with this? We throw light into this and it bounces light back off of it in kind of a random pattern. And so we can put that light onto a wall to create like a really cool background for that wall effect. So again, just another idea of a DIY kind of gobo where we can throw light onto this and then bounce it back and get a cool effect or a cool pattern on another set. By the way, DIY gobo, did I say what a gobo was? I don't know if I even said what a gobo was. A gobo is a go-between object. So now you know, gobo. All right, that's really it for our ultra portable off-camera flash modifiers. Now, remember that when it comes to modifiers, you don't need to buy everything, okay? The last thing I want to leave you with is just remember that from Lighting 101, we taught you how all these modifiers work, how whites work versus silvers, how diffuse versus specular, how large versus small light sources and so forth will create a soft versus a hard light. You understand the principles of light, so that means that you don't need to go out and just buy everything and test it all out. You can kind of look at a modifier and just guess. Well, if it's large and it's white, it's going to give me a soft and diffused light. If it's small and silver, it's going to give me a hard and specular light. If it's somewhere in between, you can kind of guess what it's going to be similar to. So do that. When you guys are going out and you're looking for new pieces of modifiers, make sure that you're actually thinking through your head, what will this do and how will this add to my arsenal? If buying this little Westcott Rapid Box is going to be almost identical to a beauty dish that you're already using, then that might not be the right fit for you if it already matches in looks, unless you just need the extra portability. So look at those modifiers, analyze them, study them in your mind. It'll better help you to not only waste your money, but to figure out which modifier is actually going to add to your toolkit rather than just be another kind of duplicate in your toolkit. That's it for this video. Let's head on to the next one.